I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
COLM McGuigan for AFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Frank Smith here in Guadalajara. Francisco, how are you finding your time in Guadalajara so far?
Hola, mi amigo COLM, ¿cómo está? Guadalajara es muy caliente.
It's not bad, you know.
Hablo mucho español, mi estudio en mi colegio.
Are you studying Spanish at the moment, you're saying? Is this to help with matchroom fighters? Is that the...
I actually said I speak a bit of Spanish, I learnt at school, but yes, I am starting studying again with Kieran, our chief translator. When he comes away on tour, he's not here now, but when he comes away I'm going to start learning again, because I think it's important. I think English people, I'll get in trouble for this, but are a bit lazy. You know, like we expect everyone else to speak our language. And I think it's sometimes quite a nice touch. Even if you just know a few words, I think it's quite a nice touch to be able to, you know, I travel a lot and I like to know a little bit where I go. So, but yes, I'm trying to learn a bit more.
I've been like Chris Tucker in rush hour walking along the Guadalajara strip, because everyone looks at me and when I talk it's hard to understand me as it is for you, never mind these Mexicans, so it's tough out here. We'll get straight to it. Canelo fight weeks are always special for Matchroom. This one's a little bit extra special. How big is this for the company first of all, and then how big is it for Canelo and John Ryder?
Yeah, look, massive to be in Guadalajara, you know, ahead of a huge night, 50-odd thousand people at the Akron Stadium in Canelo's hometown. It's special. You know, we've been lucky enough to do shows all around the world, and you know, I think we're going to see an atmosphere unlike sort of anything else we've seen on Saturday night. I was actually saying about for John Ryder as well. You know, initially when it came out that it was going to be in Mexico, it was a bit like, oh, I'm going to Mexico. But when it's your opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez, so many people have boxed him in Las Vegas, so to come here in front of 50,000 people in a moment at an event that people are never going to forget, you know, it's quite special. So yeah, excited for it, and going to be a great turnout, great atmosphere.
How big of a task is this for John Ryder and for Canelo moving on? You know, he's made no secret he wants Bivol next. Is that a fight that you'll be looking to make for Matchroom next for Canelo?
Yeah, look, firstly, it's a massive task for John Ryder, but he's done everything he needed to do to deserve to be in this position. You know, to think back 10, 11 years ago, I think when we lost the Billy Joe Saunders purse bid, and, you know, thought, oh, it's a great payday for John Ryder. And to think, really, that was only the beginning. You know, one thing with John Ryder, he stayed dedicated throughout, even through the tough times of waiting for fights, waiting for opportunities. You know, when it was the Danny Jacobs fight, he waited 8 or 9 months for that fight. Then when it was the Zach Parker fight, he waited 8 or 9 months for that one. But he's always stayed ready. He's always trained, you know, as hard as any of the guys in the gym who had dates. And, you know, he really deserves this opportunity, you know, coming off the back of that win against Jacobs, as I say, and then the win against Zach Parker, going on the, you know, the Frank Warren show, winning there. It's, you know, it's great to see someone like him who deserves this opportunity getting it. You know, it's a tough test, like you're going in there against. He's a huge underdog. I think if he won it, it would be one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen from a British fighter overseas, if not the biggest. I think he knows what he's going in against, and I think the key is, you know, one thing that's important in boxing, in so many fighters that don't take fights, don't take opportunities, don't risk don't risk getting a loss. You know, I think with someone like John Ryder, he's going to go in there and give it everything he's got. You know, if he doesn't come out on top, providing he gives it everything he's got, he's taken this opportunity against the best in the sport, and he will have massive opportunities from here. You know, for Canelo, like, there's a lot of talk, obviously, as you say, about the Bivol fight. You know, there's discussion around whether it's 168, 175. It's a fight that Canelo wants. He wants to avenge that defeat. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, Bivol's obviously looking at the winner of the Callum Smith-Peterbiev fight as well. But it's definitely a fight we're looking to make. You know, discussions ongoing there.
I spoke to Eddie about this today. You lost out on the purse bid, which was tough to take, and you've won quite a number of purse bids in the last few weeks, so that needs to be noted as well. But you lost out on this one. Do you think there is a matchroom mould somewhere? Because to lose out on a purse bid by 15,000 is a bit strange, no?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a matchroom mould to everything boxing. I don't think there's a matchroom mould for this purse bid. It was a very small group of people. I mean, I was actually at Heathrow Airport. I think we decided about an hour before what we were going to bid, and it went from there. So I think it's just different promoters understanding the value of a fight.
What, by 15,000?
Yeah, but it was funny because I was actually sitting there when it came through, and Eddie always does these weird bids where it's like 204,365 to 622 or something like that, and I was thinking, should we do 2,113,333? I didn't say it, so now it sounds like I'm making it up, but I thought, no, just leave it. He's done the paperwork already, and no one's it's never gonna be that close anyway. But I think it's just, like I say, people determining, like there's experts in the sport saying that's the value of the fight, and we are obviously both very good at that.
Moving on, Matchroom this week announced a new US deal with the Zone for the next 3 years. Big deal for yourselves. Will we see more US shows? How many per year? Eddie kind of told me today around 8 per year. Is that what you're looking at? And in terms of what cities can we see Matchroom evolve to?
Yeah, I think sort of 8 to 10 US shows a year, plus then the Mexico shows as well. You're probably looking at like sort of 14 odd shows a year across the markets, 14 to 16 shows across the market. So keeping it nice and busy, keeping the fighters active, which is key and important for us. I think we're obviously led by the talent we sign and the fighters we work with as to the markets we go to. We've obviously got shows coming up already in New York for Berlanga. We're working on another show which should be out soon. We're working on another show for Baumgardner in her hometown as well. And I think we did it with Jesse as well, going to San Antonio with Bam. So we're going to continue to explore all these markets and build stars in their local area. But yeah, exciting to get a new deal over the line. Everything runs through to 2026 now. Great to be able to offer international opportunities for all of our fighters as well, and that was key. That's a key part for us. We've built a great business in the US now with DAZN. Obviously spearheaded by Canelo, but we've had some great nights and we'll continue to deliver some huge nights.
In terms of US signings, give me an idea. We know Regis Prograis obviously is in progress, and Eddie said it's not anywhere near done, but you're talking to him. Who else are you talking to out there? Give me some names.
Progress is progressing. There are some other names that we should have announcements out onto. Like I said, I don't like talking about things because then when they don't happen, everyone goes, talking a load of shit.
But you can at least give me a bit of an idea as to who you're speaking with, and talks might be progressing. They may not be at a stage where they're at an advanced stage, but surely there's a few.
There's one really good one. I'm not telling you.
Come on, just one.
I'm not telling you.
Eddie would say, but then you don't.
Yeah, because that is Eddie. He's the man. He's like, then we've got to sign this person, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then he's just going to... I just want to make sure it happens.
Can I throw one at you? Ryan Garcia. I spoke to him before the fight, and he told me that he's not committed to Golden Boy at the moment, and he may end up being a free agent. Is that one that you would explore?
Look, Ryan Garcia is obviously, you only have to look at the numbers he's done recently in the Tank fight, massive fight, huge event. Ryan Garcia is a star of the sport and will be for a long time to come. I'm sure if he was a free agent, every boxing promoter on planet Earth would want to sign Ryan Garcia. That's the easiest question anyone would ever have to answer, but I'm not getting in trouble, and like I say, everyone would be interested in Ryan Garcia.
Let me rephrase it. The big signing that you refer to, could that potentially be Ryan Garcia?
Oh, no. I mean, it could potentially be anyone, but it's not Ryan Garcia, no.
You're not giving me much to work with?
I'm the wrong man for working with. It's exciting. I'm excited by it. I don't get excited by much anymore.
I wanted to put this question to you, and I haven't asked Eddie it, but I thought you would be the man to speak to. Berlanga in New York, Is there a possibility that he could follow the likes of Miguel Cotto and fight in Yankee Stadium? Could that be a potential? Is that something that you've thought of at the moment, the Matchroom?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've had conversations with the Yankee Stadium for quite a while. We met them quite a few years back, 3 or 4 years ago, and kept a good relationship with a few of the guys there. Scott, who's I think their CFO, he's a massive boxing fan, and it's always been an aim for us to try and do a show there. You know, he's obviously we've got to keep building Berlanga. You know, he's
Berlanga, Canelo, Yankee Stadium. How big is that?
massive. That'd be great, wouldn't it? But he's obviously got to get through June 24th first. But 100% that is a fight. That's a fight we want to make, obviously. But Yankee Stadium, definitely something we've explored before and had the conversations around and looked at plans, etc. So, you know, I'm quite confident in the future that's something that we could possibly make happen.
Montana Love, since that loss to Stevie Spark, he's kind of went unheard of. There's been no talks. Is he still a Matchroom fighter, and will he be a Matchroom fighter going forward? Does he still have a contract there?
We're still in discussions with him about what's next, you know, potential fights for him. You know, there's a lot of opportunity around that 140-pound division, especially with the fighters we've got. You know, I think let's see how things play out. He's a big talker. He's exciting to watch, and I think there's opportunity there still to do something. So let's see.
Connor Coyle's been talking about fighting Amo Williams. He mentioned that Amo's fighting an eliminator next. Any information on that?
No, I think look, one of the discussions we're still planning on is the Amo Felix cash fight. So that is something that's ongoing at the minute. And I think that could be the next one.
Richardson Hitchens, when can we see him next out? Obviously with a view to fighting Montana Love down the line, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think hopefully in the summer, July, August, we'll see Richardson back out. He had a great performance on the undercard of Serrano Cruz. Showed how special he is. So looking forward to getting him back out. And like I say again, in that 140-pound division, some exciting fights to be made.
June 3rd and June 17th, are they still going ahead?
June 3rd, no. June 17th, yes. Just finalising it.
Where?
TBC. There is a place, but I'm not telling you, because then it will give away everything else.
What about fight camp this year? Will we see a fight camp this year?
Unfortunately not. I do love fight camp, but it's hard to make commercial sense, if I'm honest, doing an event in the back garden of the offices. It's not quite the most financially sensible decision, but it served a purpose for us, you know, during COVID and then afterwards. Maybe in the future something we will revisit on a larger scale outside of our offices, because Maskell's is not made for events.
Thomas Hauser made some comments about Anthony Joshua. I'm sure you've seen them. What do you make of those comments?
I think Thomas Hauser should retire. I think it's stupid, isn't it? You know, you got the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, who yes has suffered losses against Andy Ruiz, came back, avenged it, then went in against the pound for pound, you know, top 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to call Alexander Usyk. I think he's one of the best there is current day. You know, and suffered 2 losses, and in the second fight even closer. You know, I think this is the problem with this sport. You know, like journalists who take a position like that with someone who's built this, you know, been a major part of building the sport back to where it is, and you know, go and say stuff like that. AJ has still got so much left to offer the sport. You know, he's just gone in there and comfortably beaten Jermaine Franklin. You know, lost 2 or 3 rounds against Jermaine Franklin in that fight. You know, he's got so much more still to offer the sport, and yeah, I think I haven't read all the article. I've seen snippets of it. I think it's a stupid article, and I think he should retire.
AJ Wilder at an advanced stage, or where are we at with those discussions?
Yeah, I think Eddie said we were obviously in Saudi. Everyone's hot to trot to make it happen. We want to do it. Still work to be done, but I think everyone is focused on trying to make that happen for sure.
Do you think that and Fury Usyk can happen on the same night in Saudi?
I think anything's possible. Obviously, our focus is AJ against AJ, and being that Wilder fight. We don't represent Tyson Fury, don't represent Usyk. I hope it can. Look, I think it would be a massive night for the sport. I think it would be something that would be hard to ever recreate again. But yes, I do believe it can happen. But again, there's been so much talking about all this stuff over the years. It's kind of like, let's just knuckle down, focus on trying to get it done before we talk too much.
In terms of AJ this summer, who can we see him fight? It'd be the end of July, start of August, I would imagine. Who's in the mix? Obviously Dillian Whyte. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, there's talk obviously around the Dillian Whyte fight. That would obviously be a great fight to do. You know, there's the names out there. When you look through the heavyweight division of who's out there, you know, I think it's going to be tough maybe to find an opponent that everyone's happy with. You know, everyone is going to judge him for what he does next. So I think let's see how the next week or so goes. Definitely the focus to get him back out in the summer. So let's see. But there's 3 or 4 names we're working on currently.
If you were to sign the Wilder fight, would you still put AJ in with Whyte this summer?
Oh, look, it's AJ's the decision maker. You know, he's the man who's going to decide who he fights. He believes he beats everyone in the sport, and believes he can get back in there, become undisputed heavyweight champion again, or you know, go in there against Deontay Wilder, beat the winner of Fury against Usyk. So I think we'll be led by him completely. I really do like the Dillian Whyte fight. There's other fights out there being discussed as well. So let's see.
Conor Ben, when can we expect some sort of announcement on a return? Anytime soon, or where are we at with that?
Hopefully, you know, things are ongoing. You know, this seems to be like the never-ending question that keeps going on and on and on. Hopefully, as soon as we got news, it'll be out there. You know, I think there's lots of moving parts still as part of this whole discussion. You know, I know he wants to get back out and in the ring ASAP. But you know, we have to do everything, make sure everything's done the right way. So you know, hopefully there'll be some news soon.
Thanks for your time, Frank. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,